Hello everyone, so welcome to my YouTube channel, and today our topic is default routing. So default routing is a simplified form of static routing where a router is configured to send all the packet destined for a specific network exactly listed in the routing table to a single next hop address or exit interface. So basically, the default routing can be configured on a single exit point or gateway to the internet, or the router that are endpoint router can be configured with the default routing, because that will allow all the network information is in IP version 4. So in that case, if you are allowing to forward or receive the packet from all the network throughout the IP version 4 range, so that is why that is means you have to do the less configuration in this case. So that is why the simplification of configuration will be done. Only one route is needed to handle all the unknown destination. That is means from a single configuration we can handle all the unknown destination, and it will reduce the complexity of the network, right? So it acts as a catch all route directing traffic to next hop when no specific route matches the destination. That it means now you don't have to define the destination on in the routing table, but automatically it will define the traffic for all the destination. It is commonly used in smaller network, and also it is used in case of network address translation where you have to receive the data traffic from the different locations over here. Okay, so there are some advantages of default routing. It simplifies the route management and reduces the number of route that needed to be configured and maintained. It provides the resource efficiency, because as you have done the less configuration, so the memory utilization will be reduced as compared to others. But there are some disadvantage also. The lack of granularity, it provides the less control over the traffic routing. That is means any user or any person connected to any network can forward or receive the data that can be uncertain. So no automatic failover. That is means it does not provide the redundant path, because already configured on the last or endpoint router, so redundancy cannot be possible in that case. Okay. Now, if I talk about the default routing, so here we can see that only two routers are endpoint routers. The router 1 is the endpoint router, and router 4 is the endpoint router that is connected to a single hop. So this is single hop and this is single hop. So these routers are connected to single hop only. That is means they are connected to single layer 3 device. That is why these routers are called single gateway or endpoint routers, or AND router. Single gateway is available for these routers. So on router 1 and our router number 4, the default routing can be configured. If I talk about the configuration of default routing, so first of all, we have to go to global configuration mode. Here, the default routing can be configured by this command IP route 0000 and 0000 and next hop IP address. That is means 0000 with subnet mask 0000 and the next hop IP address. Now, if I talk about what is the meaning of this 000 0.0.0.0 and 0.0.0.0. So, dear, this means that allow all networks in IP version 4 to forward or receive data. So, if I am allowing every single network in IP version 4, that is means it will automatically allow the users in a local area network, because there will be limited IP allotted in that case. Okay. If I talk about the practical implementation of the default routing, so we will do the implementation of default routing here, but we will do the configuration of the default routing only on these two routers. So these are the endpoint routers, and on other routers we will do the configuration of what? static routing. Okay. Now, so first of all, let's see how many indirectly connected network are there for this router number 0. Okay. So the indirectly connected network for this router will be 192.168.12.0, 13.0, 14.0, 15.0 and 16.0. So these five networks are indirectly connected network. And this is our next hop IP address 192.168.11.2. But dear, here we will do the default routing. So that is why all the networks will be automatically configured in that case. Enable configuring terminal IP route 0.0.0.0, 0.0.0.0.0, and the next hop IP is 192.168.11.2. That's all. This is the single line configuration for the same. Dear all, we already have provided the IP address to all the PCs and all the router interfaces before doing the configuration. Okay. So if you want to check the previously done configuration, so show IP interface brief is the command that is used to check what IP address already available. So 192.168.10.1 is available, 192.168.11.1 is available. Now, so we have done the default routing on this router, but here on mediator router, we have to done the static routing or any other routing process in that case, because these routers, router 1 is not cannot support the default routing. So first of all, we have to mention what are the indirectly connected network here. So for this router, what are the indirectly connected networks? This network is indirectly connected, and this network is indirectly connected, and this network is indirectly connected, and this network is indirectly connected. If I talk about the left side indirectly connected network, the next hop will be 192.168.11.1, and for the right side networks, the next hop will be 13.2. So we have to mention this in that case. So I will go to this router. Okay, first of all, let me note down what are the indirectly connected networks. So indirectly connected network are 192.168.10.0, and next hop address will be 192.168.11.1. Then IP address on the network on right side will be 192.168. This will be 14.0, and the next hop address will be what? 192.168.13.2, right? 192.168.14, then 15.0, and last will be 16.0. So these are the indirectly connected network that I mentioned here. Okay. On this router also, let's check what are the indirectly connected networks. So there are three directly connected networks. So these networks are directly connected to this router, this one, and this one. So already this router has the information of these three networks, but doesn't have the information of what? Indirectly connected networks. Okay. So now what are the indirectly connected networks? So network on this router, on the left side, we can see that there are three networks that are not connected to this router: 12.0, 192.168.11.0, and 192.168.10.0. And next hop IP address will be 192.168.13.1. On right side, the indirectly connected network is 192.168.16.0, and 192.168.15.2 is the next hop IP address for this router. So this is the part of static routing. So let me mention all of them. So on left side, we have a network 192.168.10.0, and the next hop IP address is 192.168.13.1. Okay. Another network is available on the left side is 192.168.11.0, 192.168.12.0. On right side, we have 192.168.16.0, and the next hop IP address is 15.2 for the right side networks. Okay. So we already have mentioned here. Now let's provide the information of these to these two routers. Okay. I will go to this router, enable configuring terminal IP route 192.168.10.0, and the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, and the next hop is 192.168.11.1. IP route 192.168.14.0 and next hop IP address will be what? 13.2, right? Let's provide the information of for the 15.0 and 16.0. So this is the part of static routing in that case. Okay. Now let's go to this router and we'll do the same. Enable configuring terminal IP route 192.168.10.0, 255.255.255.0, and the next hop IP address on left side is 192.168.13.1. Okay, let's do the configuration for other network, that is 11.0 and 12.0. 192.168.12.0. Okay. Now on right side we have a network 192.168.16.0 that is indirectly connected. The next hop IP address for that one is 15.2. Okay, that's all. Now let's go to last router, and on that router we have to do the configuration of default routing. So because this is the endpoint router, but which network are indirectly connected to these? So the network that are indirectly connected are 10.0, 11.0, 12.0, 13.0, and 14.0. These five networks are indirectly connected, and these are connected with this next hop 192.168.15.1. So this will be the next hop IP address, but we are doing here the default routing, so we will allow all the networks here. Enable configuring terminal IP route 0.0.0.0, 0.0.0.0, and the next hop address will be what? 192.168.15.1. That's all. Now, if you want to check the routing table of all of these routers, so go to router and put a command show IP route. So you will find that the information collected by what? S star. S star means static and default. That this is called default routing. S star means default routing. But if I check with neighbor router, on neighbor router we have done the static routing. I will put the command show IP route. You can see that the indirectly connected network information is collected by S, and the meaning of S is what? Static routing. Now the PCs can be able to forward the data in between these. Okay. So let me try to forward the data also, and we'll check if the data forwarding is done or not. So let me try to ping these two PCs. So this PC will forward the data to this PC now, 192.168.16.c, and we will check with the practical implementation of the same. Okay. So let me put a ping command, ping 192.168.16.3, 16.2, whatever is that. So you can see the ARP packet will be generated before the ICMP. So this packet will be forwarded to the switch will forward to the router, and it will get back with the MAC address of the router. Now the ICMP packet will be forwarded. Now this packet will be forwarded to this router, but this packet will be automatically converted into the ARP message. The ICMP packet was blue packet converted into ARP and will be forwarded to get the MAC address of this PC. So you can see every time the first packet will be lost to find the MAC address of the destination. So here you can see the packet will be lost. Now the next packet will be generated and will be automatically forwarded. So if I will go to real time, we'll check how many packet will be forwarded. You can see that starting first packet will be lost and other will be properly received. Okay, so this is how the communication will be done in case of what? Static default routing. So default routing we done on last router and first router. So dear all, if you have any doubt about the default routing, please ask me. Okay, and in the comments, and have a nice day. Thank you so much. Please subscribe.